Welcome to the Library Research Skills session for Introduction to Communication. I'm Chelsea Lalonde, and I'm your Social Science and Humanities librarian. I'm the subject specialist librarian that specializes in research resources to support your faculty, and I'm here to assist you with searching and locating the best resources to support your research. In this session, we're going to cover the library services available to you at Ontario Tech. Look at different types of resources you will be retrieving and incorporated into your research assignments for your courses. And we will explore different search strategies to retrieve research materials. Then we will focus on how to conduct searches using the library website and subject-specific databases, and I will talk about the importance of evaluating all resources.
The Ontario Tech Library has a couple different locations. You are probably going to be accessing most library materials online, but I wanted to tell you a bit about our different library locations. The North Oshawa Library is our largest library, located at 2000 Simcoe Street North. The Social Science, Humanities, and Education Library is located in downtown Oshawa at 61 Charles Street. Library hours for both locations are posted on our website. The library downtown is where you will find most of the print material related to your studies. You can usually find me at this library as well. Learning how to navigate scholarly research takes practice, and the library is here to help you. If you have any questions about where to start or how to find something, there are several ways you can get help. First, you can contact me, your librarian, by email. Another option is to use the Ask a Librarian chat feature on the library website. When chat is open, you can get immediate assistance from library staff. I also offer individual research consultations, which are usually done online.
Visit the Subject Librarian page and choose my name under your faculty. Under my profile picture, you will find a link to book an appointment with me. Choose Research Appointment and a date and time in the calendar. And you'll receive an email confirming your appointment with a link to the meeting in Zoom or Google Meet.
Many of our library services are offered online, and our library locations are open to help you in person. You can place a hold on library items for pickup at any library location, or choose to have books sent to you by mail, choosing the home delivery option. Home delivery is only available in Canada. Our library hours for fall 2021 are still shorter than our traditionally offered hours. Take a look at the library website to check for any updates to library hours. To access library services, you will need to use your student card. Your student card acts as your library card to check out any physical library materials from our library locations. You can use a physical student ID card or your digital student ID card, which is accessible on the Ontario Tech app. Similarly, when you're accessing online resources through the library website, you will be asked to sign in. To do this, you will use your student number and your network password. This is the same password used for other Ontario Tech logins, such as Canvas.
Now that you know a bit about library services, let's talk about the different types of sources you will encounter in your research. Your instructors will usually ask you to include specific types of resources in your assignments, so it's important to be able to identify different types of sources. First, we will talk about popular and scholarly sources. You've likely encountered these before. Popular sources can be books and articles that are written for a general audience. They use everyday language and include vocabulary that is easily understood by the average reader. Popular articles may be written by a journalist or a freelance writer and don't generally provide sources to support the information they present. Scholarly sources can be books or articles that are written for a more specialized audience or scholars, researchers, and students like you. A scholarly source discusses and analyzes original research and often uses specialized vocabulary. Information in scholarly sources is cited, and scholarly research is published in journals and in academic books. Scholarly sources can be books or articles. Consider scholarly books. These books will include a table of contents at the beginning of the book and may include an index at the back. Citations are found throughout the book, and references are listed. Scholarly articles are written for an academic audience and generally contain an abstract, introduction, and conclusion. References are cited throughout the article and included at the end of the document. Information about the author and their affiliation is found at the beginning of the document. Not all scholarly articles are peer-reviewed. You will often be asked to include peer review sources in your assignments. Peer review articles are scholarly articles that are published in peer review journals. A peer review journal requires that all articles submitted to the journal are reviewed by experts before they are accepted and published. These experts assess the research before publication. It is important to remember that not all journals are peer-reviewed. Before you start searching for research for your assignments, you want to consider the search terms you will use. Think of your research question and the words that describe it. Consider different combinations of words related to your topic. I often write down different terms for a topic on a scrap piece of paper as I'm working through a search, and I add new terms or circle terms that work well for the research topic. Trying different combinations of words will retrieve different results, and some combinations might be better than others. Consider a search for a topic like negative aspects of social media. Possible terms you might want to consider or use are loneliness, happiness, bullying, or anxiety. You might want to consider specific platforms or topics such as mental health or support. And these might not be the specific words you use in your search, but brainstorming, gathering, and grouping words will help you narrow in on your research question and search strategy. I've narrowed my example research question to, what impact can social media have on mental health? A good thing to remember is that I am researching the topic through the lens of communications and media studies, so I don't want to find a lot of health sciences articles to support my research. Keep this in mind. I often start my search broad, so my first search might be for social media and mental health, and then based on my results, I will narrow in on my topic and add or remove additional words to make my search more specific. Sometimes an additional word could narrow your results too much, so play around with different combinations. It is important to look in different places for resources to support your research. While you might start searching somewhere like Google to get a general idea of your topic, you will want to search the library website and use resources such as Omni and library databases. These databases will find sources that you would be asked to pay for on the open internet. Searching in different databases is important because not all databases have the same content. When you find a good combination of terms for your topic, remember to look for articles in a variety of databases. You don't want to miss an important article on your subject. Two places to look for articles on the library website are Omni and the library databases, which can be found in research guides. We will cover how to search in Omni first. Omni is a search that is located on the main library website, and it can find resources such as books, ebooks, journal articles, newspaper and magazine articles, and videos. There are lots of different resources you can find using Omni, covering all sorts of different subjects. When you are in Omni, you have the option to sign in using your student number and password. You may want to consider doing this because using this feature, you can mark and save results as you search and return to them later. Here you can see the pin that you can click on to save a book to your account, and below it is an example of a book. Here I've highlighted the quotation mark icon, which will give you an automated citation for this resource. Very useful. On the left-hand side of your Omni results, you will find a variety of search filters to help you refine your results. A filter, like availability, can help you limit your results to resources available online or peer-reviewed journals. The resource type filter can help you limit results to books or different kinds of articles. The publication date filter can help you limit to a specific date range. Very useful when you are asked to find a journal article published in the last 5 years. Here you can see that I chose the peer review journal filter. So now all the results are for peer-reviewed journals. You can also see that there's a little icon under the article description that says peer review. Okay, let's take a look at the articles that were retrieved. I've got an article from Epidemiology and Psychiatric Sciences and Health Expectations here, but I'm looking for articles in the subject area of Communication and Media Studies. Let's look at how we can get better results related to communications. Okay, so I changed my search to social media and happiness, and we can see that the journals that the articles are published in align more closely with communications now. The peer review filter is still applied, and we can see the icon under the article that the article is peer reviewed. Again, remember that not all journal articles are peer reviewed, and some scholarly journals go through the peer review process, but not all journals do. Here is another look at some of the most commonly used filters that you can help limit your results, such as resource type, publication date, and availability. Lower down in the filter options, there's also a subject filter, where you can limit results to subject, such as communication. This can be a useful filter when you're finding articles from other disciplines creeping into your results. If I choose to add the subject filter for communication, as I've done here, I can make my results even more concise. Now, when you find an article in Omni that you want to look at, you can click on the title and it will give you more details, as seen here, including links where you can view the article online. Choose a link and it will bring you to the article. Now that we've covered searching Omni, we will look at some different subject-specific databases which we can find in the library's research guides. We will navigate to the guides for the Faculty of Social Science and Humanities, and since you're taking a communications course, the best research guide to point us towards databases on this topic area will be the Communication and Media Studies Guide. You can see that our Communication and Media Studies Guide covers different types of resources, including the top databases for research in this subject area. We are going to be looking in a subject-specific database, Communication and Mass Media Complete. Now we are in Communication and Mass Media Complete. When you're searching in a subject-specific database, such as Communication and Mass Media Complete, the articles being retrieved are all subject-specific. In this case, they were published in Communication and Media Studies journals. Now you can enter your search terms. We will find that the number of results are a bit less overwhelming than searching in Google or Omni, since you are searching in a subject-specific database. The layout of different databases will be slightly different, but you will notice similar options. You see search filters on the left-hand side of your results once you begin searching. You can limit to peer-reviewed articles, choose a specific date range, or more. Now I've limited my search to peer-reviewed journals published in the last 5 years. If you're searching in Google Scholar, make sure to update your settings and add the Ontario Tech Library under Library Links. This will allow Google Scholar to connect to library holdings and tell you when an article you find is available through the library's subscriptions. You can see here the full text at Ontario Tech link next to a couple of articles. Below the article description, you will find the quotation mark icon, which will provide an automated citation for the article that you can copy. One major limitation in Google Scholar is you don't have the same filters to limit your results. Most notably, there is no peer review filter here. Several of the articles are behind paywalls, but the full text at Ontario Tech link will take you to the library's subscription, so you won't be asked to pay. Now you have a better idea of how to search for resources using the library. But what happens when you find an article the library doesn't have access to? Using our Interlibrary Loan service, you can request articles or book chapters that the library does not have in our collection. These are usually delivered online. So remember, if you find an article online that's behind a paywall, always check the library website to see if we have access to it through our subscriptions, and if not, try doing an interlibrary loan. Let me know if you need help with this or anything else. That's what I'm here for.
After you have found your resources, you want to evaluate them to determine if they are the best sources for your assignment. Let's take a look at different things to consider. Currency of the resource. When was the information published? Is the information still accurate? Does it fit with the criteria of the assignment? Relevance. Is the source relevant? Is the information related to your topic? Is the journal relevant to your subject area? Is the resource popular or scholarly? Accuracy. Consider accuracy. Does the information contain visible bias or errors? Are sources cited? Authority. Is the source authoritative? Who is the author? Are they qualified to write on the topic? And finally, purpose. What is the purpose of the information? Are there affiliations or viewpoints that should be considered? Does the author have an agenda?
If you have any questions or need help with conducting research, let me know. You can always email me, use the Ask a Librarian chat service, or go online and book an appointment with me, and we can video conference. Good luck with your research, and remember, I'm here to help you.